Hi everyone, Bethany here from the Art Conservatory. I am a paintings conservator and I'm excited to share with you one of the major conservation projects I'm working on. This video will be part one of a series of videos as treatment progresses, so stay tuned for further videos and updates over the next few months. The painting I have in my studio is a depiction of the famous Greek myth Leda and the Swan. Zeus, king of the gods, became enamored with Leda, the wife of King Tyndareus of Sparta. Zeus then transformed himself into a swan, seduced Leda, and with her bore twins. The female twin was Helen of Troy, whose beauty caused the Trojan War. Some accounts of this mythology suggest the union was that of seduction, and others account it was rape. The imagery has been depicted by artists for thousands of years. Once the Italian Renaissance hit, it seemed every major artist was doing their own version of this image, including Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, Rubens, Caravaggio, and many others. The painting I have is oil on canvas mounted to a wood panel. Compositionally, our painting seems to be most similar to Michelangelo's original composition. Despite the fact that she's facing the other way, there are obvious similarities with the red drapery behind her, the side profile view, and the positioning of the swan with his beak in her mouth. This is a view of the back. The panel sustained water damage, which resulted in a full detachment of the canvas from the wood panel on the bottom third of the composition, and a dissolving of the adhesive that joined two wood pieces into one panel. In this image, the wood panel is missing on the bottom third, and you're seeing the back of the canvas. Viewing the front of the panel under raking light reveals that the whole surface of the painting is cracked and those paint flakes are lifting. And again, this is likely due to being exposed to high humidity or fluctuating environmental conditions. UV examination doesn't show very much at this stage, mainly because there's such a heavy layer of surface grime, which can block UV-induced fluorescence. However, I can tell that this is a natural resin varnish. And I do see some modern retouches here, which are these dark areas, but there are other indicators that tell me some historical overpaints are present over other areas as well. Here we're looking at the painting under 1000 nanometer infrared imaging, and I am seeing evidence of some historical damages that were not otherwise visible before. I see paint losses in these areas here, so I won't be surprised when I start my treatment and find losses beneath overpaints and layers of degraded varnish. Infrared imaging sometimes allows you to see an underdrawing. I don't see any sign of one here, but that doesn't mean one doesn't exist. There are some factors that sometimes blocks it from view in an infrared image, so we may try imaging it later on again in the treatment. Final observations include the obvious things, which would be all of the paint losses at the bottom of the composition related to the water damage. And this paint is actually actively flaking, so it does need to be stabilized. And there are also losses in the upper left corner that you can see there. And of course, there is a very heavy layer of dirt and grime on the surface and a very yellowed varnish layer, both of which are obscuring the original colors of the composition. So those things will need to be addressed as well. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future videos to watch the complete conservation treatment of this painting, which includes the structural stabilization, surface cleaning, varnish removal, and in-painting of losses to bring this painting back to its original former glory.